I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So, where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Alright. Let's go. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms. Which means I have to do it. This is the second floor of the dorms. It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. I'll go in there later. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Kyoko,
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Huh? A regret? Huh? There's a strange gap in the wall. Is it some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something?
So,
There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze? There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password, and the door should open right up.
However,
But I don't have a clue what that password might be. All we know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right. That's not nearly enough to go on.
it's true.
I looked through all this paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password.
Whew.
When I think of how much time I wasted on this... There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
It would seem.
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the Ultimate Despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the Ultimate Despair.
However,
There's not much, though. Nothing we don't already know.
in other words,
The Ultimate Despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people, whose driving force comes from despair.
however,
And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there?
whew,
But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete kitty failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on. I see. That's a good outlook to have. Alright, so it's not just one person, it's a whole group of them. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. No, wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password. Knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it just to be sure?
Well,
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more.
hey,
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it in... Beep! What? That did it! Kyoko, it worked!
why?
Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko? Hey, Kyoko. I may as well not even have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay.
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Why, you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway,
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside, and... Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined?
I see.
Just as I thought. What? Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones. Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box. My father. Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box? Those bones. That body. That's my father. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for. Hold on, how can you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in this school right now. God, I'm so tired of this. Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the school, but the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume
Other words.
that most likely my father was in this school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption, anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong. Which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties. But was that all there was to it? I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder.
Hey,
It's fine, check whatever you want. Are you sure? Okay then. I went through each drawer one by one, starting from the top. All I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to his job, huh?
well,
It's just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
now,
If he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I'm sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. Huh, this picture. It's all faded. It must be pretty worn. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko.
why would you?
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past. And yet... to now find something like this. So, what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself, to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again. And this time, he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko. Well, actually, yes, Kyoko, there has been worse dads and fathers than your father. I'm not saying abandoning you was a good thing, but... seems like there was a reason why he had to leave you behind. And I'm gonna spoil, we never find out, I think. Or at least, if we do, I don't remember it. The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission.
Hey,
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like. Are you sure?
as
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... is this... It's an e-handbook, right? And it has a label on it that says, in case of emergency. I'd found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
in other words,
A handbook with no limitations, given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably right.
seem
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? But Kyoko,
I
I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay?
Hey,
Listen, Makoto. Huh? Can I ask you a favor? A favor? What is it?
so...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but
Hey,
could you leave? Huh?
correct.
Just for a little while. I'd just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko? Don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little.
Just a second.
I need to get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you're going to say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Then I'll see you later. She really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what had happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. Okay, whatever, alter ego. But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the mastermind's true identity is one of them. 15 of us met in the mail hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. Even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. Alright. Oh, you can see some blood. And a giraffe coming out of a locker. This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Hope's Peak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the 2nd floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. Wait, but... What about that emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, let's give it one more try. I took the emergency handbook and ran it across the card reader, and... Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we've got inside. This locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems in every part of their life. There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order, and dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuffed this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw, but the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of uneasiness I may have had evaporated. What? There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes, which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to this school at the same time as the rest of us, and we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So what is this notebook? Alright, one more. This thing is practically empty. There's just one thing, some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's some writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. It looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster, my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was, and I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing, but when I reached the last page, the question marks spinning through my mind just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. Despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second despair. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? But the more I see, the less sense it makes. Because these lockers, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook that seems like it belongs to Hiro, and a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. And I have to believe in everyone. Let's go to the 4th floor.
Hey, Makoto.
Ah, Makoto! Are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door.
Yeah.
So I figured if all the doors in school had been unlocked, that one should be open too, right?
But
Although I couldn't bring myself to open it. Because it might explode, right? And that really suck. So you open it. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Maybe because she is. I don't know. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Hina raced over to a nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was, wow, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It's really over the top, though. Like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Hifumi'd probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit? So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean...
okay.
Alright, let's start poking at it or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Hold on, you can't just or whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Huh? Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but... I think it was that one. The button that says Data Center. Data Center? I took a good look at the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed. But the Data Center, that's right next door. I probably better go check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I'm kind of scared out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. Did I just hear what I think I heard? Yep, you did. Is that Monokuma? Hey! Roar! Give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina? What? Aw, man, busted. How did you know? Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling? Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here.
Found it.
I guess what I found. A self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it.
Too bad.
Aw, man. Aw, man. Are you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel inside is clearly the Monokuma control room. Whoa! Hey, Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. Huh? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now. It was Monokuma. Monokuma? What? For real? Yup, looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. You just said that, my god. And this control room is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words,
Hey.
maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Hyoko's theory was right. But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true, then the mastermind, Monokuma's puppeteer, really is the 16th student. No, it can't be. There's no way, right? What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Oh no, it's nothing. Okay. What about you? Is everything okay?
I mean,
Oh, well, it's just... This is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something? I can't say it isn't possible. But I really hope it's not true. So, like,
so,
you want to leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time standing around here. Okay, you want to get going? Yeah. As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? Ah, the door! It just locked on its own! What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. You're right, it's locked. But why? Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted. Monokuma?
just a second.
Hey, no fair. You can't just go around restricting whatever you feel like.
Hey,
It's for your benefit. 'Cause if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just stopped up and stopped moving. Then that room.
yep.
As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are. So right now, you're being operated by someone in that room?
Yes, indeed.
Correctamundo!
You're a liar.
But that doesn't make any sense. We were just in there and we didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch? No way. The hatch on the floor? Too bad. That was your one big chance and you blew it.
Too bad.
Of course, that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace! He's gone, but
So,
was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure.
huh?
Then, when I said we should leave... Well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice. You've got me all motivated again.
You got it.
Okay, I'm out. See you later. Hina took off at a full sprint. And I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ah, Makoto, it's you. Oh, Byakuya. Damn it, I didn't care about that. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class number 78, student registry. It contains profiles for all of us and Mukuro.
So in other
Apparently, class number 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Mukuro's profile in Kyoko's room,
I see.
that's right, it also mentioned class number 78. That must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with hers,
In other words,
there can be no doubt. Mukuro was a student here at Hope's Peak Academy, just like the rest of us. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled, she must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. But what's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page? Correct. Mukuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
So, in other words,
In other words, when it comes to this profile, there was more information about Mukuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? Seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself.
interesting.
I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the report. Mukuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background an entity floats, close but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about all this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. And I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behavior. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir. When she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students, after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Now she's right next to Aoi Asahina. Although that makes sense, Ai. That's how they organize in Japan. They organize they do have an alphabetical order. It's a little different. So A comes after E. So Asahina, Ikusaba. So that makes sense. I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Mukuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair. I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean Mukuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why would they kill Mukuro? Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. They would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means the Mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro was. What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost in thought. But I should probably point out one other thing. There is another important bit of information within the file that you should note. Well, what is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl perhaps you've never seen before? A girl who seems to be included as part of our class number 78? That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds. And it even lists her vitals. 31, 22, 32. Well, what do you think? What do I think? Are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body?
Stop talking.
You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse, and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean... Wait, is he trying to say... there's a chance the body isn't actually Mukuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all but impossible, but it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right?
It's all clear now.
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. My goodness. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice from me to you, so I suggest you pay attention. Advice for me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her. Huh?
Other words.
The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch. But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't, as you will. I'll keep it in mind, thanks. So Mukuro is fairly underweight. 97 pounds at 5'7". I'm 5'3". Oh my gosh. 97. That's less than 100 pounds. Obviously. And insanely thin for a girl that tall. Ugh. Oh, where am I? Turn around. We're so close to the 5th floor. Might as well walk the rest of the way. And I'm eating, sorry if you're hearing me chomp chomp chomp. Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? It's so cold. Why is it so cold in here? That's the first thing I need to figure out. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. And on the left side, there's a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side, there's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. I've seen something like this before. Ah, that's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does that mean this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like an instruction manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver and the blue light will let you know the automated systems have activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and an alarm will sound immediately. The exterior is stainless steel, and we do offer optional leather upholstery upgrade package. What the fuck? Well, who cares? It's just a cadaver. You don't need to be so fancy about that shit. It's not needed. This is the instruction manual for the fridge. Ah. So, there are 16 students in this game. 6 are alive. How many bodies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shouldn't there be 10 corpses? Interesting. There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of those things lately. Yeah, we are, you liar. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. The right-hand lights are off. Well, looking around, I think I get it. Seems clear to me now. It was a makeshift morgue. Yes, we already knew that. And about those lights by each slot. Looks like it's set up so that when a slot is occupied, the blue light comes on. Which would mean, inside each slot lit up in blue, another one of the victims is... So, our friends Junko, Sayaka, Leon, Mondo, Chihiro, Hifumi, Kiyotaka, Celeste, or Taiko, Mukuro, and Sakura. Can't let my emotions take control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who's died, and that's defeat the mastermind. And to do that, I have to continue my investigation. I don't have any other option. Alright. We haven't seen Yasuhiro lately. Oh, Toko, so this is where you were.
What do you want?
Am I so disgusting you want me out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. I just thought maybe you'd found a clue. Well, I haven't. I didn't find anything, not one single clue. I figured since this place was related to the case, it would have to have something, right? But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give it back! Calm down, Toko.
What's your problem?
Don't tell me to calm down. Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless, good for nothing. Nobody's gonna say that. Master will? I'm not sure I can disagree with that. I don't want that. I'm sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I'm gonna get going. Okay, Toko, just chill. It's part of your problem. You just need to chill way more than you do. Okay. So huh? It's gone. Mukuro's body. It's not here? Maybe the body's inside the tool shed. I better check just to be sure. I didn't find anything even close to a dead body. But if it's not in here either, then it must be. Could it be in the biolab? But corpses aren't the only thing I need to check in here. There's one other thing. That tarp. A tarp played a key role in another case, so I'd better look into it. The killer used the tarp to keep the sprinklers from getting the body wet, which means the killer might have left some clue behind here. Huh. It says biolab? Then this originally came from the biolab. Alright. That's all I really needed to check here.